Welcome everybody, and I'd like to talk today about an interesting and I think a very general topic of interpretability and explainability aspects in data analytics. And I would like to sort of demonstrate that these two important facets are related to and can be represented in terms of information granules and symbols. So here's a brief agenda I'd like to cover today. I'd like to start with some introductory notes and then move on to this sort of general hypothesis that the levels of abstraction and information granularity and information granules come hand in hand. And then I'd like to move on to exposing the principle of granular computing and focus on designing aspects of information granules and discuss some quite general area of architecture, namely rule-based models, and show how interpretability aspects are present within this setting. So my presentation is self-contained, and I would like to really present some general ideas, and when it's required to get into more sort of technicalities. So I do hope that given the scope of the conference and given probably a very broad range of different research interests, this topic could offer some interesting and new insights that could be of interest to the research audience. Well, with the emergence of artificial intelligence, it became obvious that when we start solving more complex problems, we are faced with this evident question of explaining and interpreting the obtained results. And that's why I think a few years back, the idea of explainable artificial intelligence came into existence. And there are really a number of strong arguments, because when you have the complexity, increasing complexity of systems being handled by AI, and you really are getting a little bit unclear as to the way how the solutions were produced, and what is more so important, how much confidence, how much trust you can put into this solution. And I suppose, given